Hey, afternoon everyone. It's Jamie here, and it is Sunday afternoon. I have a very special treat for today's video on the theme as usual, Sunday spirituality and self-reflection. I'm actually out here in Boston, Massachusetts, my old stomping ground, visiting my amazing girlfriend, Catherine Hummel, for some good quality time together. And I wanted to bring her into the video today on a theme which I think is most important for everyone in our lives, and that is how to have a vibrant, abundant, beautiful, thriving relationship. This woman, I have to say, is the source of a lot of inspiration behind my madness, and we've been through so much together the past year and a half that I feel like there'd be no greater gift to give a little bit of perspective, both on the masculine side and then also on the feminine side, which is what she really focuses on, about what it's all about at the end of the day. Is just having some real, true love with someone else and being able to really express yourself. So I'm kind of going to start off and we'll see where it goes. But, we were talking a lot this weekend, and I feel like for me there's really four themes, four concepts which really allow people, couples to come together and have that deep level, not just of love, but really of passion as well, that kind of fire that lights it all up. And for me, a big one really is actually to put God first in your life. And whatever your belief, whatever your faith and your background is, I believe that having something other than just your partner to carry the weight of a relationship is huge. If you've got two people, and none of us are perfect, Lord knows I'm not, and if you've got two people who are together and there's a lot of weight that's being put on the other partner, it can cause a lot of friction, a lot of tension, a lot of difficulties. But if you throw in a higher power, the universe, whatever you want to call it, for me, it's a belief in God. He really holds that foundation and that perfection and that unconditional love. And by having that sort of at the base, it allows everything else to spring up and grow from there. And that's been something we've been growing a lot into together, which has been beautiful and taking a lot of the burden, a lot of the stress off. So that's sort of my first point of really putting God first in your life.
And I was thinking about that in the sense that this isn't about that you have to have a belief in a higher power, and a lot of people are in resistance to that. But what's made the difference for me is really not making the other person, like he just said, like holding all the weight. So two people who have their own lives, and you get to decide what fills you up. For us, yes, having a spiritual life is how we're able to come together feeling whole and complete and not putting it on the other person. But making sure you yourself have a network of friends or activities or whatever it is that you feel full, so you don't come to your partner and dump all your crap.
Absolutely. It's very heavy. Very, very heavy. Second thing that we think is a big one is really to be totally and completely honest. No holding back, no matter how angry you are, how upset you are, really expressing your feelings to your partner. Just letting him know, letting him into your life, letting those walls down, and just showing yourself, totally honestly and totally authentically is a huge one for that communication and that sense of trust, with your partner. Just being fully honest.
And you have to really know yourself and be able to be honest with yourself first before you even have the capacity to be honest with someone else. And I think that's why we love coaching. That's what's brought us together. We both have a passion for self-realization, self-actualization, and personal growth. But if you have no idea who you are, then it's going to be a lot easier to just be morphing into your partner and being whoever you think you're supposed to be. And that's not a relationship. You have to accept who you are first. You have to really know who you are first. Even be able to articulate your feelings to somebody else and what's important to you. And, you can't, it is really true. You can't give love and you can't love someone else fully until you really love and accept yourself.
Yeah, I know that's a big one. I feel like especially early in our relationship, we definitely tried to put on that mask that we thought the other person wanted to see, and well, it's nice in the short term, in the long term it's not doing anybody any good. So it's nice when you can get to that place to just really, show yourself and be honest, as hard as it might be sometimes. The third one, and this is a big one, and like I said, I've used the word before, my big words: passion, purpose, and prosperity. The third key for me is you got to create passion daily, and I say create because it doesn't just happen. There are days you wake up, you're tired, you don't want to do stuff. You roll over and it's just like, oh my God, what's going on here? But sometimes you gotta wake up, you gotta be fun, you gotta be creative, be playful, just be joyous, and bring that passion. Don't go again looking for that passion and trying to seek it, but bring the passion out of your partner. You'll find some ways to spice things up, especially as time goes on. These days it's so easy for people to separate and grow apart because they lose that spark and they lose that juice that they started with. So I love that. I'm a romantic, and I'm a little loony. I do all kinds of crazy things, letters, text, all the above. But create that passion, and it just blows up from there.
Play. That's been the most important thing for me, and part of what our original struggles in the beginning of our relationship was that we were so freaking serious all the time. And that was the flip side of really being invested in personal growth, is we both were really into that and really analyzed that like way too much. But then as soon as we let that go and we're able to accept each other and accept ourselves, we were more focused on having a hell of a lot more fun than spending time talking about things. And what I really like to say to my clients is life is happening for you, and it's not happening to you. So passion doesn't happen to you. You make a commitment to building that. You make a commitment to play. You make a commitment to enjoying yourself. It doesn't just like fall out of the sky and happen. And I think unfortunately a lot of people really do believe that. And that's been a major shift for me in my own life and what I'm building in terms of my business and becoming a yoga teacher. And it's what has made this relationship successful, because we both know that it's working together.
If you're not having fun, what's the point? Not a lot of fun otherwise. Fourth one, kind of last one I'll leave y'all with is a big one, and that is total commitment and doing whatever it takes. And again, this is something that I know we struggle with a lot early on, but really that idea of being totally committed to your partner. And it is a partnership. It takes two people. It's a mutual experience. But being willing to do the things that you maybe don't want to do because they're not comfortable for me. Let's say if maybe giving up something, I'm giving up something when really you gain so much more. And just that, being able to empathize and put your partner's needs ahead of yours sometimes. If they're struggling one day and you're doing well, and whatever it takes to kind of bring them up and be there for them. And just being committed, not leaving, not threatening to leave, not creating, any type of situations to run away, but just really knowing and, again, trusting all the other stuff, that it's going to be okay and that you're going to do whatever it takes to be with someone you love.
I love that he said this one, because an hour ago I just had a major personal disappointment, and I got to feel myself get really in it and want to give up. And then I remembered, because he had shared these 4 things with me earlier in the weekend, and I was like, wow, yeah, like what does it mean to be willing to do whatever it takes? What am I committed to? Do you even ever ask yourself that question in your life? Like, what kinds of things are you committed to? What do you value? And because we each know that for ourselves, we're able to come together and really decide what we want our relationship to be like. So this isn't about what kind of relationship you're supposed to have or what relationship you should have. This is what works for us. And as of right now, we're doing pretty freaking well. And so being willing to do whatever it takes for me is that I'm going to go beyond what, I'm going to go beyond being uncomfortable. I'm going to realize that relationships take work, and it's not always going to be easy, but I am committed to being with this person. Because what's on the other side is worth a hell of a lot more than that instant gratification or what seems easy at first. So right, he lives on the other side of the country right now.
Working on it.
And yeah, right. So we're making the best of it. This is what it is. This is our commitment. And so this is so fun.
This is a blast. And last thing I just want to say, I've got to get the last word, of course, as always. I think for me, that last part of doing whatever it takes, I can speak for myself when I will say I have grown more than I could have ever imagined through this relationship and through the challenges that we've had and through the stuff that it's brought up for me and forced me to faith. I mean, I have grown immensely, as a man, as a boyfriend, as a coach, as someone who serves others, by dealing with stuff in the relationship and being committed no matter what. It's really, changed a lot of my values and my perspectives and, how I approach different situations. So that growth that comes with being in a relationship, I mean, that at the end of the day is, I think, why we're all put on this earth, to connect with others and, share our gifts. And when you find someone who you can really share those with, from the heart, there really is no greater gift. So I just want to thank you, Catherine, for joining me.
Yeah, thanks.
Agreeing to do this. It took some prodding, but nonetheless, hope you guys enjoyed it.
You enjoyed it.
A little bit longer, but have a fantastic rest of your Sunday, and I'll be seeing you guys next week. Much love.
Bye.